All right, I was gonna see how many times I hit the unmute today that'll work. Welcome everybody to Monday night. Yes, simply the best, always absolutely just fires me up right in the soul. We're gonna talk a little bit about some of the things that you have connections to later on in the call, but I encourage you to find that song. There's a power, maybe it's the actor in me, maybe the artist in me, but there's a power in music, guys, that things can be feeling like they're in a million places, and you just hear that song and it channels that place in your heart, in your soul, that just kind of just, I don't know, it sounds cliche and cheesy, but it's just like everything's gonna be okay. Like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling fired up. So that song, both of those songs are two of them for me. So if you don't have your song yet, keep digging, you'll find it. It'll be that song where like you're in the car and someone's talking and you're like, okay, just shh. I need to hear it. I need to hear it. Even if I'm not singing it, I just need to experience every second of it. So we're going to hop right into this workshop today, guys. We've got a lot to cover, a lot of goodness in store. Like always, this is an interactive session. Interact as much as you'd like. Ask as many questions as you like throughout. As always, if we don't have the answers right here for you, we will find those answers for you and get them to you. This subject, guys, is probably one of my favorites. I think, and I've said it more over and over and over again, mindset is just so key. If our mindset is in the game and things, guys, and right now in the season that we're in, it's just, there's so many things that can be pulling us in so many different directions. And it's important for us to narrow back in when things get shaky. This is really where the foundation lies. So we're going to hop right into it. I saw that picture, and I just loved it. So we're gonna hop right into it. As always, I always like to give you guys a bit of a framework of kind of what is tonight about, where our goal is to give you some empowering factual knowledge, as well as some insight and perspectives from various members of our community. Our also hope is that you can kind of start creating a bit of a game plan for yourself as you're working towards your goals, whether they're in health or wealth or wherever you're at coming into us today, so that you've got some stuff to move forward, to be the healthiest and best version of ourselves. And again, allowing you to have some immediate action steps, and they don't have to be massive and profound. We're talking little brick, Lego block by Lego block, if you will, to help you start smashing your goals. And at the end, we always like to have a little fun. This is a great opportunity for us to connect with other members in our community, near and far, meet new people, and just kind of be connected for a little bit. So I'm not going to take too much of your time today, so we're going to plow right in. So always important to remember where the basis is here. So the goal is, our philosophy is based on elevating to your full potential. We do that in a combination of ways. One of my mentors, Mary, always says in a concert of ways. And I just think that's such a beautiful way of saying it, because it truly is that. If you look at, an orchestra, it takes every single member of that orchestra to make that beautiful piece of music. It's the same when it comes to working towards our goals. So our nutrition, it plays 80% of, 80% of our goals, making sure we're getting healthy whole foods in there. Pairing with that nutrient support is also going to absolutely, make that nutrition just help you rock your results. The 20% exercise, which we'll touch on a little bit more next week. Again, that 1% every single day to really help elevate. Again, we're going to talk a little bit probably about that and within the mindset category, because activity is so healthy for our mindset. Of course, I'm getting a million messages at this moment. Forgot to turn off my Telegram. I'm sorry, guys. But I'm going to just quickly do this on the STS committee, and they're going nuts. All right. Hold on. Come on, guys. That was my bad. There we go. Perfect. So love you guys, but pause. So 20% exercise. So you've got our 80% nutrition, our 20% exercise, which is two components of our philosophy. And this is where the glue comes in, the 100% mindset. You can have, the magic potion. You can have all the magic, but if your mindset isn't in there, I'm going to go ahead. I don't like the word impossible, but it's impossible to smash your goals, because you need to believe that you deserve it. You need to be doing the work here and here to really be able to smash your goals, not only in your nutrition and your health, but in all of your goals. And what I love about this community is that not only do you get the opportunity to set your goals for your health and your wealth, but you also have a community that's there to back you and help you smash them and just empower you along the way. So that's really what our community is all about. And I always like to touch on that, especially for the new person who may not know a lot about what we do. So in a nutshell, what are we going through today? Hey, consider this your table of contents, your mental checklist for those people that need the visual. We're going to take a little bit of a closer look into mindset. We're going to talk really briefly about 6 tips for managing stress. We have covered it in past workshops, but again, I feel like it is the season to just have that quick reminder with a couple little tweaks. We're going to talk about what are affirmations, because we say affirmations all the time, but not everyone knows what that means. So we're going to touch on it a little bit. I'm going to go over a couple suggestions for some evening and morning and evening practices. Tara's going to dive into some personal development, which is another key thing. It's another term that you hear all the time: mindset, personal development. And we always just kind of assume everyone knows what that means, but we don't always. So Tara's going to give us a really great overview on how to kind of comprehend that and how to kind of get that into your routine. We're going to jump into the kitchen with Jackie. I've got a holiday inspired smoothie for you. I also have the recipe. You may have heard some of us talking about the glow up challenge. This is going to give you a little insight on what the heck is that and how the heck do you make that. So we'll give you a little insight there. And then we'll leave you with just a couple of last things about what's kind of coming up next within the community. All right, so first off, we're going to dive in a little bit. We're going to go beyond the nutrition, beyond the smoothies, beyond the, the beautiful healthy meals and the hydration and all that stuff, which obviously still plays an important part in the mindset, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper, if you will. So as I said, we're going to talk about mindsets. And as you said, we've got that impossible, it's going away, because impossible, I don't like it, guys. If you can dream it, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. That's the term. I truly, truly believe that. So here we go. This is a term that I like to think that I coined because I said it once and I love it. I don't know if I can take credit for it, but I really, truly believe that the magic is in the mindset. I really, really do. So feel free to, keep that in your mindset whenever you're feeling kind of stuck. Go back to the mindset. Where's my mindset at? So really quickly, why? Why is it important to narrow in and focus in on our mindset? Why is it important at all? Studies have actually shown that there's an indisputable link between having a positive outlook and health benefits, like things like lowering blood pressure, less heart disease, better weight control, healthier blood sugar levels. The list goes on and on and on when we're maintaining that healthy, positive energy about ourselves, when we're keeping a positive mindset. When we're keeping things in a positive space, it's easier to kind of move forward. When we're in a negative space, it's easy to just kind of curl up and go the opposite way. So really, it makes so much sense why it would be such an asset to our overall well-being. So again, some of the things that are working against us with our mindset, we can always have the best intentions, guys, but there's stuff that's built in us that's a constant working kind of experience, if you will. We always say to people, let's say your goal is to lose 30 pounds or gain 20 pounds of lean muscle. Do you expect that in a week you'll hit those goals? Not really. Not in a healthy way. So we have to stay consistent. We got to keep working towards it. The same thing goes for our mindset. Why? Because we sometimes will come up the strongest we can be. We could be the most feel like we're the most strongest mindset, most positive person. Guess what? We've had limiting beliefs at some point in our life. Life will throw you a curveball and be like, oh, you thought you were on top of this, eh? Boom, here's your fear of failure. Boom, here's what are people thinking about you. All of these things because our life changes. One of my mentors said, our life changes every 3 months. Imagine all of the changes that we have, whether we're hopping into a new environment. You've reached your health and wellness. Now you're putting yourself in a new arena. Maybe you're going to the gym, and maybe you're just, what, I'm feeling great. I'm going to wear a crop top and tight shorts. And then there comes the fear again, even though you're feeling that confidence. You never know where it's going to come. So we got to keep working on that. It's programmed in us from our childhood. This is no offense to all the moms. Hey, I'm one too. I already admit to my kids, I'm like, I'm sorry in advance. I'm going to do my best. But at the end of the day, it's just the things that come from us. And it's not even always our parents. It can be our peers. It can be social media, depending on when you grew up, right? As I said, the influence of the media, our ego, our inner critic, that little voice that wants to sabotage you. In its mind, it was trying to protect you. But again, it's kind of usually the root of a lot of that negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can be things like filtering, only hearing the bad in a situation. It's like I could give you a list of 10 awesome things, and there was one thing that wasn't so awesome, and the person will go right into the bad thing, right? But what about all these great things that happen? Like, not going to go into it deep, but like 2020, right? Pretty bad things, but there's been some really amazing things. So it's important for us to focus that way. But negative self-talk will have us pulling into the negative. Personalizing, something bad happens, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's done. It's my fault. Work through that, right? Then there's I'm not going to say this right. Catastrophizing, as I believe. I don't know if I spelled that right. It's that little thing that, like, allowing that stubbing your toe at the beginning of the day to ruin the whole day. And I'm making light of this because when I look back at Deanna from 6 years ago, I fell in all of these categories, my friends. Polarizing, thinking things are either good or bad. There's no in between. It's trying to look, glass is always full or empty, whatever analogy you need to use, is doing your best to say, okay, I'm acknowledging that I'm having this moment. How can I flip it to the positive, right? Because we all do it. It's so common. So again, creating new habits of positive thinking. When we're aware of the areas that we need to shift, we need to change, it gives us the opportunity to dive a little deeper and say, okay, I need to be more optimistic here. I need to, be a bit more positive in this area. For me, very transparently, an issue that always kind of draws my kind of negative self-talk or limiting beliefs, those kind of challenging stuff, is money talk about money, anything like that. So I've had to change my relationship with money. I'm not perfect at it. It's a work in progress. It's always going to probably be here, but I'm aware that it exists. So when I'm in a moment where those feelings are starting to spiral, is like, okay, here I am. Am I going, like, how? Let's really look at the situation. Let's take a little bit of a deeper dive than maybe I would have before. Check yourself periodically during the day. Where is your head? Are you in a positive space? Are you in a negative space? If you bumped into you, would it be like or would it be like, oh, thank God, there's that positive energy person? Yes, we have good days. Yes, we have bad days, but it's trying our best to stay in the positive world. Be open to humor. Give yourself permission to laugh in the hard times. I know that there's hard times and it can be hard too. I'm telling you, from personal experience, when I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, you know what got me out of the hole? A hell of a lot of laughing. A hell of a lot of it. You gotta find a way to laugh, guys. And I don't know what it is for you, but it's number one, is the most freeing, most beautiful, magical thing. Like, turn on it if it's a TV show, if it's, they don't have America's Funniest Home Videos anymore. That show used to stress me out, so that's not a good example for me. But I don't want you to get hurt when things are falling. But again, following a healthy, active lifestyle. Are you getting some activity? Are you moving your body? Like, what is it? Like jumping jacks? I don't know. Whatever it is for you. Sometimes that idea of just getting up and moving can make a difference. And a huge one, who are you surrounding yourself with? Yes, we're in a unique season where some of the limitations on where we can physically be in the same space, but showing up on calls like this, showing up, arrange. I have recently just started like a mom's chat on Friday nights or every other Friday with some gal friends of mine. It is so great. I haven't seen them in person in so long, but it's just like, like the standard, but who knows what we're talking about, but it's so freeing. But it's surrounding yourself with people that are just like, literally just want to help each other out. You choose the people you surround yourself with. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes, it is what it is and you have to learn how to adapt, especially within the season. But the people that you're surrounding yourself don't always have to just be like people that like pop in some Jim Rohn, pop in some Mark Hughes, pop in some Mel Robbins, Rachel Hollis, whoever does it for you. Those are positive people. Tony Robbins, these people that inspire and lift up. It doesn't have to be someone you know. It's just someone who makes you feel good. And practicing positive self-talk. And that's where we're going to jump in a second about that concept of affirmations. And I'll share my kind of aha moment when it came to that. So I put together this little kind of checklist that we can kind of keep in our mental space when we're having, sorry, the slides are a bit delayed there. We're having those moments of, okay, I'm feeling like I'm not in a good space. Where am I at with these things? So it can be, what am I plugging into? We're going to talk about how we start our day and all that in a second. But when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you're doing? Are you guilty as charged? I used to wake up in the morning. The first thing I put on was CP24 and it rolled all day. Was that healthy? Retrospectively? No, it was not. But again, what is the first thing that you're putting into your space? Because you control your thoughts. Your thoughts ripple through the rest of your day. And if you're surrounding yourself, I'm not saying be ignorant. I'm just saying choose when you input. Who am I surrounding myself with? And this is a tough one. There's been some people in my life I've had to just not push away, but just be careful, because I know I'm a sponge for positive and negative. So I have to work really hard at it. And if someone's really drawing my energy out, it's just can be a little overwhelming for me. So I have to figure it out. If I'm surrounding myself with people that are pulling down, maybe I need to start looking at some other circles, other pockets, reach out to another mom, reach out to some of us in the community. Let's make cards together. I don't know, whatever we got to do to stay where you're feeling like you're connected. As I said, how am I starting my day? What can I do to keep my mindset positive? We just talked about a couple options, and Tara's going to walk us through some personal development stuff in just a second. What are some daily practices I can do? Where, how can I get myself into state quickly? This was a big one for me. One of my mentors said, if you're feeling yourself kind of in the trenches, ask yourself, what am I reading? What am I reading? For me, it's listening to, I'm an Audible girl, Two Crazy Children. If I tried to pick up a book, it'd be kicked out of my hands in a matter of seconds. Another one, and Tara, you taught me this one. How was my sleep? How much sleep did I get last night? How much sleep did I get this week? How much sleep did I get this month? Where is sleep on your priority list? Have I moved my body? What did I eat today? Have I been staying hydrated? And a big one for me too, guys, when all else not necessarily fails, is list 3 things I'm grateful for in that moment. Because in the hardest, roughest, toughest moments, you got to find 3 things. You have to. I'll give you one. You're alive. You woke up this morning. You have a breath. Hopefully, you have a home or somewhere that you live. You have breath in your body. The list goes on and on. It doesn't have to be profound. And to me, those are profound. There's a lot of people that love a lot of those things. So remember, those are big things. And when it feels like your list is short, those count. So moving on, again, we've talked about this before, so I'm not going to go super deep into it, but it's a good kind of reminder. I always like to kind of play back to the fact that stress plays such an impact on our mindset. We need to be aware of that and some of the ways that we can kind of work through this. So Dr. Hebert, who's one of the doctors within our Herbalife community, he put together with some of the other doctors the concepts of the 4 R's to reduce stress. I added in the concept of to enhance a positive mindset, because I do feel like they just go hand in hand. Because it's an important thing to realize that that stress is actually something that we can create in our body. They use the example of when you're almost hit by a car and you are hit by a car. How often when you almost get hit by a car, you're like so stressed about the fact that you're almost hit by a car, but you're fine. Like the moment is done. If those of you guys who were in the challenge had a look at one of the things Jamie posted today, that Will Smith posted, he had a really great part where he talked about that, about the concept of he talks about, it's one of my favorite clips of him. He talks about jumping out an airplane, and the idea that he was so scared all up until the moment of jumping up the airplane. But until he actually jumped out of the airplane, he was 100% safe. He was stressed out, but everything was actually fine. Our bodies do that all of the time. So it's important to catch yourself in those moments as much as you can. So really quickly, again, the importance of sleep. These are some great kind of facts that Tara shared with us on a workshop a while ago. Feel free to screenshot this. Again, it's so crucial to our health to make sure that we're getting proper rest. Just like the parents in the room know, you want to get your kids to sleep so that they grow nice and strong. Their brains are functioning properly. They develop properly. Goes for us adults too, guys. Even if we're not fully in development mode, our bodies need the nourishment. It helps us keep our immune system strong. And now more than ever, we need that as well. Relaxation, again, meditation is a great option. There's lots of apps that are available. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head which the one I use. I'll post it in the challenge. Really great options. Sarah Blondin's a great one that I know Cheryl as well enjoys. We were introduced by Dion. Really great one. Next up, we've got the recreation. So think of some ways as things start getting a bit colder and the snow starts joining, our daily routine of ways you can get creative to get some workout, get some exercise going for yourself. Oops, I skipped ahead too quickly. That was the new one. Here's a mind shifting activity. Pop on your favorite high energy song and dance your tushy. Yes, I said tushy off the entire song. The whole thing. Don't stop. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks. I don't care where you are. Dance, dance, dance. Honestly, you just challenge me that you don't feel good after that. And that's why I was saying off the top of the call is if you have that song, just pop it on when you're having those moments. High Hopes is my song. And whenever I'm feeling down or whenever Jamie and I are feeling challenged, we pop that song and we're just like, ignition, thank you. So again, staying connected, especially as we move our way through the holiday season, so important. Social distance walking, Zoom, phone calls, that old fashioned phone, the thing that we go like this and we dial and we do the things, all of that stuff are so, so key. Cheryl, what's Witch Doctor? I don't know. Now I'm curious. Was that an app? I don't know. The next thing is the idea of a routine. And I know that can scare people, but it's really important to have it. And again, time blocking is an amazing introduction to my world, and understanding that life, especially if you're still kind of, navigating this whole new life with all the moving parts, you make what you can of this. You make what you can of the moments of how you start the day. Just try your best to have something that grounds you on your feet. So again, we've talked about this. The things can affect our morning negatively, our social media. That can be like the news. It can be a text message. It can be messaging. I've said before, Mel Robbins says, do not have your phone near your bed. Put it under your bed. Put it in the closet. Better yet, put it in 3 rooms over. Turn the ringer on. If someone needs to get a hold of you, guess what? The ringer's on. Hopefully you or someone in your life will hear it. If you really have sleep deeply, then just put it somewhere that you have to physically get out of bed, is my point. Poor sleep can affect your day. Again, self-talk, self-doubt, lack of time. When we're not getting proper rest, we're waking up exhausted, we're slow moving, which is going to usually in turn in us being late, which is going to, if you're me, stress me out like crazy because I hate being late. And then yes, Witch Doctor. I was going to guess that that's what it was. I love it. Yes, I know it's such a good song. Love it. I also like Hey Ya. Anyways. Black Eyed Peas, I could go on. So the other key thing, guys, so we said, set the tone for the day. Really being in charge of how the rest of your day unfolds. So here's 6 tips. One of my mentors, Amy, shared this like years ago, and it always resonated with me. And you probably heard me share it a million times because it's so impactful. If you can even do one of these things to start your day, try your best to do it. For me, I really try to at least pop in some sort of personal development at the top of the day. I try to at least focus in. I have affirmations on in the house. I try to at least focus in on at least 1 or 2 of them in the chaos of a morning for just a moment. And if I'm really strapped, I will be standing there making my smoothie or making the kids breakfast, and I'm thinking of things I'm grateful for. If I can't be physically lying in a moment of silence. Personally, I've made a commitment to myself to start joining the 5 a.m. club. Tara, what's up? We'll see you there. Uh, because I know the power of it. And it's now to the point where mama needs it. And we got to make sure we're filling our cup. And that's, I can leave it to Tara. Tara will probably touch on something like that. So I'm going to just let her tackle that. Lastly, before I move it over to Tara, what are affirmations? I'm not going to lie to you. When someone first told me what affirmations are, I was like, that sounds cool. I didn't know what they were talking about. I remember a girlfriend of mine, clear as day in my old apartment in Toronto, telling me about how energy and positive affirmations, and I loved her to death. So I just was like, good for you. Because I just wasn't in the space to properly connect with it. And it wasn't until, I can't even remember who it was, framed, I think it was actually Mark, one of our mentors, said, what is an affirmation? It's positive self-talk. And some of you guys are like, obviously, Deanna, but for me, I was like, oh, of course that's what it meant, because I didn't get it. I was like, I am this, I am that. Okay, cool, but I don't understand. And it's reprogramming ourselves. That's exactly what it is we're shifting from those negative thoughts, that limiting beliefs, all of those things, and starting to reprogram ourselves. Now it makes sense. I don't know why you guys are seeing something different than me. Hopefully I'm not losing internet. We're good. Oh, no. Okay, we're caught up. My computer's possessed. Let's be real. So what are affirmations? As I said, affirmations are positive statements that you can use to help challenge and overcome all of those sabotaging negative self thoughts. There's so many studies that just have proved the power of this, and it's beyond just wishful thinking. It's really, and like we're going to dive deeper into this in a second, but it's really allowing that power of visualization and belief and confidence to kind of allow you to get yourself there. I remember Rachel Hollis was saying once, and it was one of the ones that really clicked with me when I started setting my own affirmations was, it was things that she wanted to be, but she knew that she could be. She knew she could be. And one of them was like, I'm an exceptional mother. Maybe she didn't feel like in that moment she was, but she put that in the universe. And so when she woke up in the morning, she was like, I have to show up as that. I am going to show up as this version of me. I'm going to show up as a confident person. I'm going to show up at my, goal of my ideal, lack of a better word, body weight, or however you want to phrase that makes you feel empowered. That's the key, is the empowerment, the confidence, and the belief that you can achieve it and you deserve it. Again, same stuff. We can screenshot this. I'll pop it into our chat, into our group, because I really want to get to some of Tara's goodness as well. But these are just more and more benefits of those affirmations. And sorry guys that the slides are moving slowly for you. And, in the basics, in the core crux of it is figuring out where you're having those negative self-talks, where you're having those struggles. Maybe you're like, I really struggle with patience. I really struggle with punctuality. I really struggle with having deep relationships. I'm just not feeling like I'm showing up as the best me. Whatever it is. And then when you're creating those affirmations, is finding the positive of that, and always making sure that you're writing in the present tense. Write it and speak it as if it's already happened. Our brain begins to believe it. If we start saying, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, our mind takes, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, and broke, and that's going to ripple into the rest of our life. If you say something more along the lines of, I am abundant, or, I attract abundance, or any of those positive flips on that, it just shifts the way that your brain, and I'm a strong believer in the universe, how everything just operates. It's what you're putting out there is what it will come back in. And even in the tough times, guys, just believe it. Because if it's not feeling like it's happening, it's because I'm going to quote Tony Robbins, and those of you who've been listening to his recording are going to know this. There's conflict in you. There's something that's holding you back from believing it. So do the homework on you to figure out what's blocking you from that belief. All right. And I'm leaving this to you. You can pop it in the comments. You can write it in your journal. You can pop it on some Post-its and put it on your wall. What are some affirmations that you are going to use moving forward? One of our mentors, Emily, used to write it in her journal. She'd have 2 pages, and every day when she started her day, she would read all of the affirmations out loud to herself every day. And it empowered her to take the step to move into the next direction. Is that something that maybe you have to incorporate? Maybe you don't need the 2 pages or the 3 pages, but sometimes it's that thing. Marc Lachance out of Montreal, I'll never forget it. He said, my thing I say to myself every single day is I'm a fearless leader, because I don't always feel like that. So I need to show up every day and affirm that for myself. All right. Enough of me. Oh, no, not enough of me. Almost enough of me. Terry, you're almost up. The last 2 things, and I'm going to take a break. Tips for the end of the day. Win journal. If you're not doing it, start today. Rachel Hollis, I'm stealing your words. Start today. I want to know them. Know them for yourself. Wins, as we said, don't have to be monumental. You don't have to come home with medals, but you need to be able to celebrate them. Tony Robbins says progress equals happiness. Celebrating every single win towards our goals, just towards getting going through to the next day, is essential. Second one, gratitude journal. Another one, or figuring out whenever you need 3 things that you're grateful for. Essential part of your day as well. It doesn't just have to be at the end of the day. It can be at the beginning of the day. It can be in the middle of the day. Honestly, my kids are going nuts at some points of the day. I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that. Thank you, Mel Robbins, for that concept. And I think of 3 things I'm grateful for, because that just helps me with my own anxiety. That helps me with my own level back to grounded. So use it. It's a magical tool. And with that, oh my God, I forgot this frame. Reframing. Again, we'll screenshot this concept. We've talked about this, shifting can't to won't, but I'm going to move this along so Tara can tackle some of this stuff, because I know she'll talk about this in her segment. And here we go. Personal development over with Tara. You got this, girl. The floor is yours.
All right. Hi, everyone. So first, I just want to say, if my internet cuts out, let me know. It'll take me like 20 seconds to just flip that around. I'm trying something new tonight. All right. Do we have any slides? Because I do have some stuff on my phone, and I know we weren't really So I just wanted to kind of start off by saying, you know what, I'm really glad, Dee, that you touched on mindset, because I was going to say a lot of people don't really understand what the whole concept of having a positive mindset is. Like, to people, it's like you're either in a good mood or you're in a bad mood, right? Like, there's really no explanation as to how we can develop a good and a healthy mindset, and just how important it actually is. So I just wanted to touch on personal development and how that kind of all plays into like every single area of our lives, because a lot of people hear personal development and, we automatically think, like, for me, it used to just be like personal development. Okay, I'm going to set some goals and I'm going to shoot for them. But I didn't realize that there were so many different areas. Like, every aspect of your life involves personal development. So here I have written down, personal development is whatever helps you to go after the best version of yourself. So that can be like anything. So I broke it down here into 5 different areas of our lives. So the first one being like mental personal development. So this one is a key one for me. I love doing this one. So that's you're growing your mind. So whether you're taking a class or you're reading a book that's helping you learn a new skill set, you're setting goals, you know what I mean? Like, those things are kind of like all wrapped around the mental. All my kids are coming upstairs now, all of them. So the second one that I have here is social. This one here, I never really realized, but you know what? Over time, I realize how much I have grown and how much I've developed socially, because I was that shy child that could not even look anybody in the eye. Everyone thought that I was grumpy. You wouldn't have caught me like 5 years ago on a Zoom call talking to you, or as a general manager working in a retirement home, dealing with people all day long. So when you're looking at personal development as far as the social aspect goes, You can be focusing on your communication. You can be practicing your active listening skills or your speaking skills, right? So just doing this right now with like a child in the background is really stretching me. It's stretching me. So the next one that I have written down is spiritual, and that one's pretty self-explanatory, and this is going to mean something different for everybody. So for example, if you're a follower of Christ, the personal development, you're going to be reading your Bible daily. You know, you're going to be setting goals to meditate, to pray. I may have to just mute myself for a moment to tell my children to behave, but we'll just see how that goes. Stop it. So that's the spiritual development. So whichever practice you do or whatever you believe, that's going to mean something different for everybody, but you can incorporate personal development into that part of your life. And then we have the emotional personal development. And this one here has been something that I have been practicing very actively for the last few months, just because of what has been going on in my life personally. But, you know, the emotional side of things is, you know, journaling, tracking your moods. This is something that I haven't tried, but I'm going to. And sorry for all the gentlemen on the call. But as women, and this is just using an example, there are certain times of the month where we might be triggered because our hormones are a little bit off. So even just journaling that and being aware of our triggers, being aware of what makes us moody, being aware of what kind of gets us going or sets us off or makes us cry and makes us sad is a really good starting point to really know, like, okay, I know that this is a trigger. So then you can be proactive with it, and you can kind of plan some strategies on how you can kind of counteract that. So there you go. There's personal development right there. And again, Deanna talked on it, and it's practicing positive affirmations. This is something that, again, actively I have just started doing. And I did actually purchase an app on my phone, which before I would have thought it was a waste of money. I think it's like $3 a month or something like that. But let me tell you, it has been a game changer for me. I get up, it's the first thing that I do in the morning. It's the first thing that I do. It's got a little practice. I can pop it over to anybody that does want it, 'cause I can't remember what it's called at the top of my head. But you can practice it, and it's got all these affirmations for either career, health and wellness, like all these different aspects of your life. You can do 15 minutes worth of them, just like going over all different affirmations, positive self-talk. Seriously, it's been great. And then the last one that I have written down here, because I don't want to ramble on forever, is physical personal development. So I never thought that this was like a form of personal development. But again, we're all here for a reason. We're either trying to maintain good health, maybe weight loss. We all have goals, or else we wouldn't be on this call right now. And physical fitness is one of them. So we need to practice the physical fitness side of things too, right? So whether it's we're active daily, so we are moving our body daily. We could be taking a cooking class, learning new recipes. That's all personal development for the physical aspect of our lives. So it kind of ties all in together, right? So every area of our lives are affected. And so maybe this won't pertain to you, but I really highly suggest that you pick one or two of these areas. And in the morning is the best time to do it, when the house is quiet. It's different if you work shift work and if you're working nights. But if you can pick that one time of day where you're feeling the most alert, and you start your day off with the personal development, it's just going to trickle throughout your whole entire day. And so that's all I have to say. Sorry, I rambled, because I thought that like all you know what was going to break loose in the room beside me. So thank you.
Did an amazing job. And I mean, hey, if anyone saw my fit club the other day, it happens, right? Life happens. No matter how well you feel like you structured it. But that's why personal development is important, ladies and gentlemen, especially for parents in the house. You know, it really is such a key component. And you know, I've said to people along the way that when I look back on even my own journey over the last few years, is my health results have been, you know, been great. But what I'm most proud of is the work and time that I put into the personal development. And I encourage, and I look at so many of you on the call, and I can say the same thing for that. So, you know, if you're feeling like you're struggling in any department, I was chatting with someone the other day and I said, if you're not sure where you're at in your journey, think back to the moment of your personal development journey, the day before you really jumped all into it. Think of where your mindset was then and where you are now, because there's no doubt, if you're, as Tara said, if you're on this call right now, there has been a shift, there has been an evolution, there has been a change. Even if you just said, you know what, I'm going to go look up this Rachel Hollis person, guess what, you've taken a step towards it. That is, again, celebrating those wins. So absolutely agree, mindset crucial, and really, really well done there, Tara. Awesome. You got a sneak peek about this. But I'm excited because the recipe looks and sounds delicious. We're going to head over to Jackie, who's going to walk us through a really delicious recipe, because sometimes your mindset just needs a little bit of warm in the heart and in the tummy. So we're going to head it over to Jackie.
Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are all having a great night. Wow, I just loving all the little tips here tonight. I have lots to take with me moving forward on my journey as well. So, but let's go to the recipe. So I kept it really simple, guys. So it's just a healthy, slow cooker chicken stew with pretty much 4 basic ingredients. So celery sticks, and you're just going to use about 3 or 4 of those, chop them up finely. Carrots, there we go, some carrots. Now you have a choice, you can peel the carrots or not peel the carrots. I don't peel my carrots because, believe it or not, there is so much nutrients and vitamins and different things in the skins, guys. So I don't peel my carrots, and I also don't peel my potatoes. So carrots, onion, voila, cooking onion. You can use a sweet onion too. There's different types of onions. And then this patata. I use 2 of these potatoes. Once I cut them all up, I'm going to show you guys something. Then I keep all my ends into a Ziploc bag. So the ends of my carrots, the skins of my onions, everything like that. So I keep it all into a Ziploc bag and I freeze it. So once I had all the veggies cut up, I put it into the slow cooker. And then for this recipe, I used chicken with bone in it, but you don't have to use chicken with bone in it. And if you aren't a big potato person either, a great substitute to that is quinoa, rice, a cup of rice or a cup of quinoa, maybe you want to put some beans or lentils in it instead, right? Maybe you're trying to stay away from some of those carbs, but this potato isn't a bad carb, so this is one of the better carbs. So you put all your veggies in, and then I used thyme, paprika, and salt. I did not use a bay leaf. You could put, I didn't have any bay leaves or anything like that on stock today with me, but so I just used simple recipes. I used poultry seasoning. I sprinkled it over the veggies, and then I took my chicken that had bone in it and I skinned it. So I took all the skin off the chicken and I laid the chicken on top of all the veg, and then I seasoned the chicken with pepper and sea salt. And guys, we are a garlic family. Garlic's not on the recipe, but we absolutely love garlic. So I added garlic in this stew. Then you need 3 cups of chicken broth. Tonight I used the Campbell low sodium chicken broth with roasted garlic in it. So I even got garlic in that too. And the reason why, and so 1 box is roughly just a little over 3 cups. So I used the whole container. I poured it on top of the chicken and all the veggies, and it kind of like seeped down through the slow cooker. I did not stir it, guys. And then I turned it on high, and I let it cook for 3 to 4 hours. If you have it on low, your steamer, it'll need like 6 to 8 hours. Okay. If you're using boned chicken, be very careful because it just falls off. So you don't want the bones in your stew. So you're just going to be mindful when you're a half an hour before you're going to serve it. You actually take the chicken out and you peel the chicken off the bones and you put the chicken back into your stew. There is another step where if you want it to be thicker, you can add cornstarch to it. But I really find that our personal protein powder actually helps in thickening it up. I tend to stay away from the cornstarch. I didn't have any personal protein tonight, so whether you like your stew a little thinner or kind of soupy like, this is what mine looks like. So I had this slow cooking all day for you guys, and my family just loved it. So this is kind of, look at, it's nice and chunky, guys. Look at that. And it's on with your goal, like on set, like on track with your goals. Pair that up with a garden salad, you know, have your herbal tea, have your aloe water, and voila. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about these bags, because if you don't want to like buy chicken broth, you can actually make your own. So I have kept these ends from other things that I've cooked with, and I froze them. Now I'm going to take them, I'm going to boil them in water. I'm going to take my chicken bones that I got from my 5 chickens tonight. I'm going to put that in a pot. I'm going to boil that down for like 2 hours. And then I'm going to turn around and make my own broth. And what's so nice about this is then I can freeze that broth. And when I want to make the stew again, now I've made my own broth. And I don't need to go and buy the store-bought stuff, right? You can also get organic broth as well. But what's nice is when you do make your own broth, you know what's in it, and you know what preservatives and stuff that are not going to be in it. So I hope that you love this recipe. One more thing, which is so cool about this recipe, it freezes for up to 3 months, guys, in your freezer. So you can batch cook it. You can set yourself up for success. You can plan ahead. You know, say Monday night's going to be stew night. Okay, you got this. So anyways, have fun with it. Be creative. I love being in the kitchen. I love cooking. I love adding spices, and I followed this recipe a little more closer, but usually I usually go off. I'm always changing the recipe, but anyways, just get creative, have fun with it, enjoy it. I'd really love to see you guys make some stew and see what you guys came up with. Enjoy.
So good. I'm like you. I'm like a witch in the kitchen. I like to call it my witch's soups because I'll just like add all the spices. It's like I have to share with you guys what I make in a recipe. I'm like, uh-oh. So say I get it, Jackie. I have to like follow it so I can share it. That looks amazing. I'm definitely gonna give it a go. And I like love the idea of the making your own broth thing. I literally, you couldn't see me. I was like, why do you, like I was ready for that second part of that. Amazing. All right, guys, we're gonna come on through home stretch here, sharing with you a couple last things. I wanted to share with you an extra shake recipe, and we're gonna jump into one other thing, and we're gonna start wrapping it up for the night. So this one I've made before, but I haven't made it exactly like this. So I encourage you to give this a go. It's the old-fashioned apple pie shake. So really you're using your French vanilla, you're using some vanilla protein drink mix, you're popping in some apple fiber complex, and you're blending that boy up with some cinnamon. Super easy peasy, usually something that stuff that you already have within your kind of daily routine, but it just goes to show the versatility of just adding the slightest little things to your smoothies to just make it a little bit different. Why not make that a little bit thicker, a little bit less water, and then boom, you've got yourself a really delicious smoothie bowl. All right, so really quickly, we're gonna pop into the Glow It Up with Dee. What is the Glow It Up? Well, some of you have been around our community for a little bit, probably know this is the lead and tone. Oh, I love this mixture. I have it all the time. It's so, so great for your immune system. But for the newer people in the community, I just kind of wanted to walk you through again how exactly you make this drink. So before I go into a couple of details about what the challenge is I wanted to share with you how to make it. So this recipe is based off of 1 liter. So basically the concept of consuming this delicious beverage is not like, okay, we're not eating food anymore. I'm on a detox and I'm only drinking this and no food. No, 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 no. No, this, why I love this is just, it's an add-on to the healthy choices that you're already making. So you continue on that healthy eating pattern. You continue on all of those exercise, all the things you're already doing, you're just adding this in. Well, some of the added benefits of it is that you're going to be increasing your hydration. Usually for those people just starting their nutrition journey, this is a great add-on too, because it starts getting you kind of in the mindset of drinking more water. So it's a combination of 3 of the products: the apple fiber complex that we just chatted about, the aloe concentrate tea, which is a hydrating tea, and the aloe concentrate. Now I say 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, because it depends on you. It depends on the way your body is. You know, some people respond very quickly to the apple fiber complex. It helps you go to the washroom, my friends. So if you're sensitive, don't use as much. I'm seeing some giggles, which means I'm doing my job well. You know, and for the tea, again, if you're a little sensitive to some caffeine, there's not crazy amounts of caffeine in it, but use your, you do what works for you. And the aloe, you know, there's a disclaimer. If there was, what is the word I'm looking for? Labeling law. Herbalife follows labeling law. So someone asked me today, is it so much thing as too much aloe in a day? I'm like, absolutely not. It just depends on how quickly you want to go through the bottle. I know people that will drink more than a bottle a day. I'm just not there yet. So, but at the end of the day, it's making it work for you. So we say 1 to 2 scoops per 1 liter. If you're having a 2-liter bottle, then maybe you're putting in 2 scoops in the full 2 liters. You figure out how it works for you. If you've never done the lean and tone before, or the glow mixture before, I always encourage people to go on the lighter side. You can always add to it. 2 to 3 teaspoons, I think it's actually should be tablespoons of the tea concentrate. Again, it's an idea for you to work with it. And then the capfuls of the aloe. Again, guys, I've been making this beverage for over 5 years, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I free pour, I use caps, so measurements. I'm doing my best to translate this for you. Those of you who are doing the challenge, Emily will no doubt give you a really good breakdown as well. And I have done breakdowns on in Blue Skies as well. So that's it, guys. Biggest tip I'll say to you, if you've never done this before, is boil some water before you fill up your bottle. And in a separate mug, you're going to want to add your tea and add your apple fiber complex, and you're going to stir that bad boy up so it gets nice and diluted, and then you're going to actually pour that into your water bottle. Spoiler alert, apple fiber complex is oh gosh, I'm losing the word. So what the other coaches help me, the word I'm looking for. Two different absorb. Jackie, Tara, who's gonna go first? This is like a pop quiz.
It's soluble, isn't it? It's fibers.
Soluble and insoluble fibers. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Yay, team. So soluble, insoluble fibers and soluble fibers. So what that means is there's 2 different kinds in there, guys. One gets absorbed nicely and blends itself in, so you can't even taste it. The other, it absorbs and does its work in your tummy. So you're going to taste it granularly. There might be a bit of granular taste to it. Shake it up, add a bit more water if you got to do. It's just going to do its job in the tummy, and that's the good thing. We want it to do that. All right. So we're going to continue on. And so that is basically what the beverage looks like. And again, we'll go into that further as we go. So quickly, what is the challenge? So I'm not on the mastermind behind the challenge to let you know in all the integral parts. It is going to be different than the challenges you've done with us. There's not going to be a little challenges for you to do throughout this experience. When the challenge word comes in is that the goal is to have one of these 2-liter bottles. Usually it's 2 liters. Sometimes they'll do a liter every single day for the time frame of the challenge. Within that time frame, there's usually also some really great mindset sessions that are posted by some of the coaches in the community, other really great resources, and the community itself is just so beautiful to be around. On top of that, we're going to have a thread for some of the Canadians, I like to say, for some of our crew to help us keep our accountability for those of you who are used to kind of that daily thread concept. I know for me, being able to like see you guys posting yours always helps me as well. And it just makes it even a little bit more fun. So that's that. Next up, I'm teasing you because I actually don't have a sweet recipe today, but I'd just like to remind us of the versatility and awesomeness of all of our incredible nutrition. And then, come on. Next up. So we have another Kickstart starting starting tomorrow, but we actually have another one starting next Tuesday. So if you know anyone who's chatted with you before, who's looking for health results, is maybe looking to enhance some of their muscle gain, that are just looking to really do a reset, the Kickstart, or even just the 3-day trial on its own is such a great place to start. It allows you to basically date it before you marry it, the nutrition program. So you get those 6 smoothies, which is 2 smoothies a day, some 6 energy tablets, so a couple throughout the day to help you kind of keep that energy rocking. Plus, you've got that one-on-one coaching from the coaches in the community. Within the challenge component, you have access to even more resources and coaches in the community, as well as meal ideas. And there's prizes when you're rocking through the 3-day Kickstart challenge as well. Following that, we are going to be having another join the team call. So if you've been around our community, you're curious about what we're about, you're curious about how a discount works, you're curious, you just want to know a little bit more, we are going to be having a call on Saturday, December 26th. I know it's right after Christmas, but we're going to start doing a once a month call that's actually on a Saturday morning. So the goal will be moving forward is every last Saturday of the month, we'll be doing what we call a Super Saturday. So the hope is once we're all in the same space where we can see each other and hopefully give hugs, it will be able to really create this kind of community once a month in our very own community. So we're starting today. And on that note, look at that. Did we get there? 3 minutes to spare. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much to Tara. Thank you so much to Jackie, to everyone who showed up tonight, everyone who puts themselves first. And I know that may sound selfish, but it's truly not. So I thank you for taking care of you. I thank you for being here. Let's continue to share kindness. Let's continue to be kind to one another. Let's continue to smile because we can see a smile in the eyes, and connect. You are worth it. I love you. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.